Hello, my friends. Thank you for watching. If you are new to my channel, my name is Gina Ramirez. I am a certified health coach and a licensed therapist, and I come to you guys talking mainly about health-related topics as it relates to mind, body, behavior, health. That is my jam, mind, body, behavior, health. And today we're doing a series actually all month long on hormones, culminating at the end of the month, May 24th, 2021, in a women's hormones masterclass. So I will leave all that in the description. As soon as this video is done, I'll go back and post in there all the details to the hormone class. If you feel like you might be having some issues with your hormones, maybe an imbalance somewhere, check out my hormone quiz, absolutely free. I will also leave that in the description as well. So we've been talking hormones. Last week, I talked about hormone myths. If that is something, that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have got to get on hormone replacement therapy, or I'm going to gain weight, or this is going to be hard. All those things are actually myths that I talked about last week. So go find that video because I want you to have the smoothest possible transition into peri-menopause and menopause that we can possibly have. And today is all about the gut, because what I know to be true is that you cannot separate and just talk about hormones without talking about the entire system of the body, the entire system of the mind. And that's why I talk so much about mind, body, behavior, wellness, because they're all interconnected and we need to treat them that way. So as we talk about the gut, the first thing that you should know is that your gut produces, metabolizes, and regulates a lot of hormones. There is actually something called the vagus nerve that travels from your gut to your brain, sending text messages back and forth, just basically letting your brain know, hey, I'm hungry, time to eat, or, it's time to go to the bathroom, or mood, I'm feeling great, or I'm feeling down in the dumps. So all of these things are regulated by this vagus nerve that's sending, and your brain sending messages back and forth to your gut, really. So it matters then. It matters what we're putting into our mouth is what you should know. So what can you do, and what are the things that the gut is doing? I'm going to share a couple of hormones that your gut metabolizes and regulates and produces, just a few, but I'm going to go into much more detail in my weekly newsletter that gets sent out. So if you want information about that, please check the description as well. I'll leave the link there. But one of the things that your intestines, your microbiome, that gut bacteria, fungus, and yeast that's in there is doing is it's regulating, metabolizing, producing norepinephrine. That's that fight or flight hormone, right? That gets you ready for disaster or fleeing or fighting. And when the emotional temperature is staying up here, that hormone is engaged a little bit more and gets secreted a little bit more into the gut. It's regulating serotonin. That's that feel-good hormone. In fact, 95% of serotonin is made in your gut. It's also responsible for, dopamine. And yes, I have notes because I don't want to forget anything. Dopamine, again, is another feel-good hormone. It's responsible for ghrelin that stimulates appetite, and leptin that tells you you're full. So if those are off for some reason and we start gaining weight, especially around the belly, you can think to yourself, wow, my hormones are out of whack. What's going on here? It's relating back to, is your microbiome, your gut healthy? Is it able to metabolize these hormones as they're coming through your body? If it's not healthy, if you're having problems there, then for sure, think about, what can I do to shore up my hormones, to shore up my gut, really, so that your gut is able to handle what is coming in, what hormones are coming in. And of course, estrogen, right? I'm going to talk about estrogen dominance next week, so I don't want to spend too much time here talking about it. But estrogen, everyone knows, is that female hormone. And when we get an imbalance of estrogen too much, what is your microbiome doing with that? Is it able to let it get out of the system? Is it able to poop it out? Or are you constipated and holding it back in, which then gets recirculated when the hormones cannot be metabolized, cannot leave the body, they get reabsorbed. And that creates an imbalance in the hormone. When there's an imbalance in the gut, there's an imbalance in the hormone. That's what I want you to get out of this. So it's so important to keep our gut healthy, guys. Keep the gut healthy. How can you do that? Well, I'm going to give you 3 suggestions in the newsletter. There'll be 8 suggestions, but I'm just giving you 3 to keep this short. And the first one is probiotics. Are you taking a good probiotic? I'm not a huge fan of the multiple probiotics on the shelf, but I am a huge fan of eating your probiotic. As far as food goes, are you getting the good foods such as sauerkraut, kombucha, miso, yogurt? What are you eating that's going to help to put in that flora into your gut that the gut actually needs? Now, we know that the gut is made up of trillions of microbes. Again, the virus, bacteria, and yeast, those little microbes that are doing its job. We cannot live without those microbes. So we got to keep them happy. And in order to keep them happy, we need a multitude of them. It's just like a garden. You want a variety of microbes in there. And that probiotic is going to give you a variety of what you need. Then you need number 2 is the prebiotic. And the prebiotic is feeding those good gut bacteria. So think apples and pears and cherries and oats and seaweed, these kinds of things, mushrooms, feed the good guys. We want to crowd out the bad guys and feed the good guys. And the last one I'm going to mention is meditation here. So meditating is huge to bring down cortisol. Cortisol is that stress hormone. And again, going back to the gut, what does your gut do with that cortisol? Now, cortisol is made in the adrenal glands, but it gets metabolized and regulated in your gut. So if your gut can't do the job, it's creating high emotional temperature to have, again, too much cortisol. Mind, body, behavior, all interconnected, guys. It's all interconnected. So we got to take care of our emotional temperature, get really grounded, get quiet in the mind. Every once in a while, give yourself a little break. So those are my top 3 for keeping your gut healthy. Again, I'm going to go into much more detail in my love letter newsletter that I send out every single week. If you're new to my channel and you like what you're hearing, please press that subscribe button, because I will be going live or putting in a video typically once a week having to do with health. Until next time, have a great day.